Most Canadians head to a US accountant to file their LLC taxes, and they end up actually paying tax to the IRS. Not only is this completely wrong, it is completely unnecessary. And it is also going to get you double tax if the CRA audits you. I'm Sal, a CPA based in Toronto, helping Canadians with US tax obligations avoid double taxation and lower their tax bill. So what most accountants do is have you file a 1040NR. That is a US personal income tax return, just like a Canadian T1 personal tax return. The NR part is for non-residents, which is like people like yourself who are living in Canada, who have they're not living in the United States themselves. That part is completely fine. And what's also fine is doing a Schedule C, which is basically reporting your income and your expenses from the LLC. But what US accountants are not used to doing is filing taxes for foreigners. They do not know how to take income tax treaty benefits. So as you might know, the US-Canada tax treaty has a lot of exclusions and exemptions that save you from double tax. So one such case is filing a form 8833 that basically zeroes out your US income. How they does that is that in the US-Canada tax treaty, there is Article 7, paragraph 1 that says that if you're not physically on US soil, then you do not have any tax to pay to the US government. Physically here means that if you don't have any employees, you don't have any physical office, and you don't have your own warehouse. Again, not talking about third-party logistics. If you don't have these three things, you're not physically on US soil. You're on Canadian soil. Your mind and your management are in Canada. So the tax treaty says that you do not have any tax obligations to the IRS. So you file form 8833, you mention that I'm taking exemptions from Article 7, paragraph 1 of the US-Canada tax treaty, which says that I do not have a permanent establishment in the United States, and I'm going to report my income in Canada. So then how do you report your LLC income in Canada? You basically call the CRA and you say that I have a foreign corporation that's a disregarded entity, an LLC, and I want to create a business number for it. So if you've ever had a Canadian corporation or if you've ever had a HST number, you call the CRA to get a business number. That's exactly what you're doing for your US LLC. You get a business number and then you go to a cross-border accountant and you say, I want to file a corporate tax return in Canada for that US LLC. It's called a T2 return. So you're gonna file that, you're gonna report your income, you can report your expenses, and the tax that you have to pay on it. The good thing in Canada is that a corporate tax rate in Canada is about 12.5%. If you're in Ontario, other provinces are a little bit up or down. So you can report that. And then secondly, most importantly, what people forget a lot of times is to also file a form T1134. Missed filing this form has a penalty of $25 every single day that you're late. So be very, very careful. The good thing is that the deadline is October 31st. So for example, for the year of 2025, the deadline is going to be 31st October 2026. But you want to be careful to actually file it before then. The T1134 is just a form where it says that I own this foreign corporation, this LLC, and here's all the income and expenses of this. And you just want to basically report to the CRA that you have this corporation that's outside of their borders. So that's on the Canadian side, right? You've reported all your income on the Canadian side. On the US side, you filed the 1040NR, a form 8833, and told them that you do not have any tax to pay them. There's one very important thing here. People forget this, and US accountants are completely clueless about this. There's a form that you're required to file for an LLC or corporation that is owned by a foreigner. It's called a form 5472. Missed filing this form or delayed filing this form or filing this form with an error gets you penalized $25,000, and it's automatic. If you submit it a day late, you're going to get a letter in the mail and they're going to ask for $25,000. And it's very, very difficult to argue with them to get that waived. The deadline for this form is April 15th. So you have a bunch of deadlines. Some are falling in April, some are falling in October, but essentially this is how you're going to report your US LLC income in Canada and avoid double taxation. You're going to pay no tax to the IRS and you're going to pay tax to the CRA as a corporation. If this was helpful for you, I'm making videos like this all the time and I'm uploading them to our YouTube channel. Hit subscribe, you're going to get notified of them. I'm going to see you in the next video.